Here it comes now. 3, 2, 1. Ding.
Take a better scene. It's what we're doing. Come and check it out. It's what we're all about. 561 Music.
Welcome to 561 Music. My name's Ben.
And I'm Hector.
And how are you?
I'm still good.
For those who don't realize, we had a false start, and so I am also still good.
Yes.
So this weekend it was pretty fun. On Friday, you came to watch me play it. It was cool.
I did, man. We went to
Poorhouse.
Yeah, that was, well, you guys were playing at the Poorhouse. Prior to that, we were at the I Think Amphitheater.
Okay.
We've got those lawn passes.
Yeah.
It's a season lawn pass, and so, you know, at like every show, basically, unless it's a big festival of some sort, every show we have access to the lawn. And so Thursday, we went and saw Janet Jackson.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Which was actually really awesome. And then Friday, it was like Styx and...
I didn't realize you did so much.
Yeah, it was Styx and honestly, the second band was so terrible, I can't even remember the name of it. It was Foreigner. They came out, the music just didn't sound quite tight, and the vocals weren't that great. And then after 2 songs, they had a huge technical difficulty, and they were down for like 10, 15 minutes.
Really?
So
Foreigner, wow.
Yeah. But Styx was like ridiculously tight. Like, I didn't realize I liked Styx until I heard them on Friday.
That's awesome.
But then we jumped in the car and drove down to, was it Fort Lauderdale, Broward?
Yeah.
Came to see you guys.
Yeah, it was, so there was a show right before it, which was Aquabats and Agrolites. Yep. And I used to go on tours with Aquabats, so it was really, really nice to see them play. They're so much fun. Oh my word! Just the energy and the hilarity of the whole thing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Sure. They're great guys, and one of the guys, Ricky, who's the drummer, he came to the gig with some of the guys from the Agrolites. He came to our gig afterwards, and so I got to catch up with him a bit, which was really nice.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, and then so it was the first time we'd ever played with backing tracks for algorithms, and I have played with backing tracks before, but not for a really long time, not since Sonic Boom 6, so I was kind of scared because it was me who had to like make them and set it up and everything, and I just thought there were so many things that I did, I was just sure I would have messed up one of them, you know?
You know, it's funny, I'm always on the fence with backing tracks because on one hand, I feel like, you know, if you're listening to somebody live, you want to see them live.
Yeah.
But I understand where in some cases you need backing tracks, you know, like you just don't have another person, then you have to do the show, you know, you know, whatever the case may be. So I do understand that. I think backing tracks for the sake of backing tracks is a different story.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's a lot of people out there that realize how difficult it actually is to play with the backing tracks. Like, you would think, like, oh, yeah, it's backing tracks, no big deal. But, like...
It's the drummer. Just as long as the drummer can do it.
But that's what I was saying. Like, the drummer has to, like, listen to the click, and he has to be spot on. If he varies even just a little bit, suddenly the tracks are off, and everything's off, and it sounds terrible.
Totally. I think it really depends on what's on them as well. If you've got, like, tons and if, like, your main vocal is on it or something stupid like that. Yeah. But, like, if there's just sound effects and stuff, I think is fine.
Yours was more like horns and stuff.
It was horns, but I think in future I'm going to lean more into like sort of dub lasers and synth sounds and stuff like that because you know, in the fullness of time, we might end up with a horn player or two. So
you guys did really well, though, man. You guys, like, the backing tracks were spot on. You guys stayed on track with them and everything, so it was good. And it sounded good. I know it was weird because of the monitor situation there, but it actually sounded good out in the crowd.
That's so awesome. Yeah, you told me that a couple of days ago, and it really relieved me. The lucky thing for us is we have Ryan on drums, and if you don't know Ryan Wiedenfeld, he is just an amazing drummer.
Oh, dude, he's a metronome.
Yeah. He really is great. And so he's the consummate professional. Always gets there at the right time, always knows all his stuff. He is so prepared for rehearsals that the rehearsal feels like a gig. He's just unbelievable.
That's funny.
Yeah. And it's funny, you know, because like when I rehearse with people like that, there's a little bit of pressure. The rehearsal doesn't feel the same as like, you know, it's because sometimes rehearsals are more like practices. You know, where you get together and you're working stuff out and you're messing around and jamming and stuff like that. You rehearse with Brian, it's like another day at the office.
Oh, yeah,
but like
yeah,
in
yeah.
a good way, you know.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
All right. Well, I'm gonna give you a quick what I did on Saturday.
Yeah.
And then we'll move on to our guest.
All right, let's hear it.
So we do the passes, like I said, for the I Think Amphitheater.
Yeah.
And so on Saturday we saw New Kids on the Block, and I will not apologize for that.
I don't think you have anything to apologize for. When I was a young lad, I loved them.
Dude, it was stupid. We were on our chairs like dancing. It was fun.
That's awesome. I was obsessed to the point where I had like the book.
I will say, like, I was probably one of like, obviously my numbers are skewed, but it felt like I was one of maybe like a dozen guys in the entire place. Like the entire place was women. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. Oh, but here was what's really funny. We're sitting there, we're dancing, we're on the chairs, I'm pumping my fist, and you know, in the back of my head, I'm like, please, someone don't see me because you know I don't want to admit that I went to a New Kids on the Block show.
Just broadcast it.
That's fine because I looked to my right at one point. I'm like, yeah, you know, have a good time. I looked to my right, and in the row in front of me, and about maybe 10 or 12 seats away, Keith. From your band Algorithms.
Of course.
He was there chauffeuring a bunch of ladies, so he says. Yeah, chauffeuring a bunch of ladies.
I wouldn't have been surprised if he was wearing the t-shirt and knew every single word. That guy has a compendious knowledge of music.
But it was just so funny, like in this entire place of thousands of people, I end up 12 people from Keith.
That's so funny. There's very few gigs that guy doesn't go to be honest with you. It's wild. And we played, there was the Square Grouper one. It's hot out at the moment.
Yep.
All you non-Floridians, we are just baking right now.
Yeah. And then Sunday we did the Gardens Green Market. And, and we were definitely roasting that.
Yeah. But that was fun. It's the only gig where we have to get there at 8 a.m. that I have ever enjoyed.
Yeah.
Like I've played a bunch of gigs like that over the years, but it's usually just pulling teeth. But that place is so fun.
By the way, they changed it to 7:30 now.
Oh yeah.
We have to load in by 7:30.
I didn't know that. Yeah, it's pretty rough. It's okay though. It's all right. I can get up at one point in my life. I worked at a French market. I had to get up at 3:30 in the morning. So
no thanks.
You know, it's like it's nothing compared to that. Market people just like the early mornings. Yeah. That's what they're like. We have Kenny Moe with us today. How's it going?
Good. How are you guys?
I'm very well. So we met you not that long ago. Can you tell us why you came out to the studio?
Yes. Well, my mom, stage mom, she came here to do a podcast with you guys, talking about local bands, helping out the music scene, and I was just there for support, just watching in the corner.
Well, it's perfect because we got to meet you and we were watching videos of a band you used to be in, and then you know it transpires that you have this new project. How did you first find yourself getting into music? Like, what was the like? How long have you been at this, and what was the initial reason you started playing?
Well, I guess for like singing and guitar, I started when I was 15. I bought a guitar at the place I was taking drum lessons, and I just would like learn songs in my room and sing in my room very quietly so no one would hear me. That's why I sing so quiet now. But about 15, but I've always loved music. Like I played drums since I was 12. So like I was still into music. I always knew I wanted to sing, but I was always so shy, and I never like knew I could sing until I just started doing it. Sometimes
with singing, it is 99.9% confidence.
Yeah.
You know, you just got to do it.
Yeah, like most of my favorite bands have terrible singers. So like you don't have to sound good.
I'll give you credit though, because I've been threatening for years now to do a solo act, and I don't think I suck singing, but I also just nerves. I can't seem to pull the trigger because it scares the crap out of me.
It is very scary.
And it's stupid. I play 3 times a week and I get up in front of, a number of people every week.
Yeah.
Right.
But I guess, when you're with other people, it's different.
Very.
Well, there's, in a band, you have that. In a band, it's a lot harder to like completely train wreck. And actually, the truth is, it's not. It's about the same amount hard to train wreck, but it doesn't feel that way.
Yeah, it's much more vulnerable messing up alone than it is with other people.
Yeah, totally. Over the years, I've played a lot of shows on my own, but I only started doing it a lot from about sort of 2020 on. And obviously after the fuss in the first bit of the year.
Sure.
But yeah, I haven't really been playing a lot of solo gigs until quite recently, and I found them liberating actually, in the sense that you do find out what you're made of.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure. Yeah, like I mean, I've been singing and playing guitar for about, like, publicly playing shows and stuff for like 2 years now, and that's taken on like playing with a band, playing by myself, some shows with just someone, like one other person. So it's taken a lot of different forms, but I kind of just got to a point where I realized, like, I'm a very individual person. Like, I'm kind of like a loner. So, like, I just felt like I wasn't expressing myself as a true artist, like, having to go through the uncomfortable, vulnerable moments on my own.
Yeah.
And I feel like once I do that for a little while, then, like, I mean, I've only played a few shows as Kenny Moe, completely by myself, but, like, some upcoming shows I have, like, I'll still have, like, a smaller backing band.
Yeah.
So it takes different forms, but ultimately, like, I wanted to find my true artistry alone.
That's excellent.
Now, are you playing when you're playing shows? And I know you play drums in another band, correct?
Yes.
What's the name of that band?
Mutiny Act.
Okay.
It's like a hardcore.
Yeah.
My favorite.
Yeah.
We just had this conversation. So when you go out and you play, not in the other band, but when you do your Kenny Moe stuff, is that predominantly original stuff? Are you doing covers? Are you playing like a night of multi bands, or are you playing all night for 3 hours or something entertaining?
Kenny Moe.
Yeah.
Those are all originals.
All originals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a cover every once in a while.
Sure,
but
sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. What kind of bills have you found yourself on? Is there what sort of bands do you find yourself playing with?
That's a good question, because I feel like that's kind of my struggle in the scene. Like, I have found it hard to kind of find my group of people to play with, because even the acoustic people, there aren't many that I really can even name off the top of my head, but even those, it's like still different acoustic music. Yeah. And then it's like you don't want a night of all acoustic, but so you have to find someone like different enough to go make sense with me.
You need to team up. You need to team up and do shows with someone like, for example, Dominic Delaney, because he's acoustic, but he does acoustic with a full band sometimes, and so he has that kind of indie folk sound to his stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, that would be the type of show I would see you. You know,
I haven't heard of him, so I'll definitely.
Yeah,
it also has this sort of like indie quality that there's a lot of like, and Dominic is this, and so kind of am I when I play acoustic. There's a lot of like folk punk type stuff around here, but I wouldn't say that's necessarily what you are. It's more like kind of like indie folk kind of thing.
Yeah, but even that is like something I could try to get along with and play with and see if it makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I'm booking shows all the time, and I just booked like a folky type gig in October. So I'll keep you in mind. We can get you on a bill.
For sure.
You'd be surprised how many shows I go to that are multi-genre, if you will. And you go to Propaganda or Respectables or anything like that around here, and I'm sure it's the same down by you and those venues where you walk in and there might be a metal band and a pop punk band. I mean, it won't be like drastically different, but it'll be it'll be different. I mean, we played at Prop the last time Killbillies played at Prop. It was us, which is folk Americana or whatever, folk punk, and then there was another guy that came on after us. It was a rapper.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
right.
who was the headliner?
It was the lead singer from Co-Defendants.
Yeah.
Co-Defendants are a really awesome band. The band started with Fat Mike in the band.
Yeah.
Then he
Started the label
just sometimes does it now. He's kind of like their dad.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, and it worked. I mean, there was a good crowd there that night, and everybody had a good time, and everybody brought their people with them, and it was, I don't know, I think it works because here's the other thing: if you pair yourself off with someone that's very similar to you, and they're local to your area as well, their fans are your fans, and your fans are their fans. So whatever 30 people or 40 people you're going to draw out, or 50 people, whatever it is that you're going to draw out to that show, a lot of those people, that other band is not going to necessarily draw them out because you've already drawn them out. So if you have slightly different bands and stuff there, and everybody's pulling in 40 or 50 people because it's different genres, and now you're exposing these other fans to your music, and vice versa, and they might like it. Yeah,
that's very true, and I've experienced that as well. It's just hard to find the perfect balance of like not being too different and then not being too similar.
That's exactly right. I was going to say the exact same thing, because that kind of thing is possible, super multi-genre type shows, but you got to do it right.
Yeah.
For
sure.
Yeah. So, have you been recording music? Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yes. So previously to Kenny Moe, I was making music under the name of Father Figure, and then
That's cool, man.
I changed that whole thing. Well, I have stuff out under Father Figure, like recorded.
Was that full band or?
It was a mix. It was for a while. I mean, it was just me, and then me and my boyfriend, and then we kind of took on another band, The People Who. I don't know if you've heard of them.
No.
But they kind of joined our band for some time, and then went back to just me and my boyfriend, then just me. It's just been like all over.
Welcome to the music scene.
Yeah.
So who's your boyfriend? And you play with him now sometimes too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
He also is in the other band I'm in.
Yeah, cool. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Does he play is he a musician, sort of main thing type musician?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
He does his own music, like solo stuff as well.
What's his name?
Jeremy Sousa.
Oh, cool. Jeremy.
Hi, Jeremy.
Big up, Jeremy.
We'll have to get you on the podcast next.
Yeah.
But so I have stuff recorded under Father Figure, and then I made the Kenny Moe switch, and I just released my song Power Lines like this month actually.
Okay.
So,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And when you released it, like, what's your sort of release process? Are you using DistroKid or what? How are you doing it?
DistroKid.
Yeah. And how did you record it?
So I've had this person messaging me for so long asking to record or produce for me, like since beginning of Father Figure. And I don't know why, it just never happened really. And then finally, like, I uploaded a demo of my song onto YouTube, just like me playing my guitar in my room. It was like a minute video. And then he sends me a like full song length recording of like what he did with my demo.
Cool.
And I loved it. And
you did? That's good news.
yeah, it was so good, and it got me so excited.
Could have been super awkward.
Yeah, I know. I was like, just like it or something. But no, I really liked it, and it sounded like a real song. So he came to my house. That's kind of like his thing. He like brings the recording session to you.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And we did it in my sweaty garage and got it all done in one night. And then he had it mixed and like mastered everything and like by that week. And then I had it out that same week. It was like really like efficient, which I love.
That's awesome. Was it Guy Galtieri?
No.
Okay. The only reason I ask is because he came on this show, and that's how he does it too. He brings the studio to you.
Right.
And so when you said that, I was like, hang on a minute.
No, this is Frank Perez.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
He's really good.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a great way of doing it, because you go to where someone feels comfortable, and you can record anywhere these days.
Right.
It's just about having like the right gear. It doesn't have to be insanely expensive gear either, just the right, you have to get the right gear and you have to know how to use it. That's it.
Yeah, he had like very like minimal equipment as well. So it was just like efficient, done.
Wow.
I don't love recording, so it was just nice to like get it done and get it out there so I can move on and just have the song out.
Do you have that thing where like, do you sort of like not get nerves when you're playing, but then when you're recording, all of a sudden you're like in your head about it?
Yeah. I don't know. I guess it's kind of like nerves. I just like start getting in my head and like, like this is my voice forever for this song. Like that's what the recording is. So it's just
You'd rather
kind
just
of,
someone capture it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like it's hard to like get that perfect take because it's like
Yeah,
it's never gonna be.
I can play a song 1,000 times perfectly in a row, and then you're like, "We're rolling," and I'm like, like cats or whatever. You know?
I do a lot of recording at home, and it's interesting to see how different people react to it. There's definitely that. I would say about 80% of the time, the first take is the best take.
That's what I hear, and that's what I think as well. So I usually just go with that. Like the vocal take for this song, I think might have been my second take, and I just kept the whole thing.
And I think, you know why? It's because, well, this is one of the reasons I think why, is because when you're recording, and when you're practicing something in a room, you don't necessarily get that much better at it when you're practicing. You get better at it a couple of days later, like when it's absorbed into you.
Yeah.
So like, you know, if you're practicing trying to get something right in a recording situation, the way you already do it is the best it's going to be that day.
Yeah,
you know
for
what I
sure.
mean?
You just kind of have to accept, like, this is
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it actually gets worse if you just keep doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Every now and again you get lucky, you know, get a good one in there. But yeah, exactly. The when I'm recording myself doing like content for, you know, social media or something like that, that's when it gets bad because it would just be me in there on my own, and I will do 1,000 takes. You know what I mean? Trying to get it right. But the good thing about that, though, is I suppose the one side benefit is it does double up as practice. Sometimes if I want to know how to play something, I'll force myself to record it, and because I won't want it out there not perfect, I will have played it just all day. You know?
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. Do you ever record yourself? Do you have any kind of gear to?
No, I'm so like, I think if I started doing that, I would hate music forever.
Word, yeah.
Like, I just hate all of that. I'd rather someone just do it for me.
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that.
I do like voice memos, and I have like a 4-track cassette recorder that I use. I mean, I kind of just got it, so I'm still getting used to that.
That's fun. I used to have one of those back in the day. I had a mini disc 4-track at one point too. Yeah. I love 4-tracks. And I even like the way you get a little bit of hiss on there, you know? So
yeah,
cool.
for sure. I have 2 songs from Father Figure that were recorded at a studio, but he uses cassette to record.
Nice.
And it has like that hiss hum in it.
Yeah, it's very nostalgic.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
of an era.
I feel you with the equipment though. Like I keep saying that I want to record at home, and then I'll play around with Logic a little bit, but I'm not proficient by any means. And so Gavin got me an interface and stuff for Christmas, and you know, it's like real nice and whatever. It's literally still sitting in the box next to like my computer at home, because I have this fear that I'm going to plug it in, and either I'm going to get frustrated with it, or I'm going to go down the rabbit hole and start recording every single day and not do anything else that I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
Oh no, wouldn't that be terrible? We'd have loads of Killbilly songs. It's recording is one of those things you either kind of like to nerd out about it or you don't, and I definitely do.
Oh,
I have like a problem.
Well, that's a good problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, so I got to ask you, your mom does the Stage Mom podcast. Shout out to Kim.
Yeah.
And she's been puts on like awesome shows. I mean, I've been to several of them. She does her was it Next Up Festival?
Yes.
Yeah.
Up Next. Sorry.
Up Next.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Kim.
No,
sorry.
I also.
Sorry. The Up Next Festival. She's done like Revolution and stuff like that. So she's done a lot of stuff like that. Battle of the Bands, things like that. But one of the coolest things she's done is she started doing shows out at the Viper Room in California, and Gavin's band played out there, Young Fiction. And you've played out there twice, I believe, correct?
Twice.
Yeah. So tell me about that experience, because that's got to be freaking awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. The first time around was under Father Figure, and it was, I don't know, they seemed like completely different experiences for me, even though it was like, it was with me and my boyfriend still, the same people. But yeah, I loved it.
Just the duo that first time, or?
Yeah, both times, just the duo. Yeah. And
what kind of bills were you on? Was it just random, or was it like?
There was a ton of bands. It was like 10 bands or something.
Yeah, at least like 7.
Okay.
I think both times. Yeah, and I love Young Fiction. I've been playing with them since like my old band in high school and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, we play Swampgrass Release like all the time, and yeah, so it was really like full circle to play Viper Room with them too.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like we've watched each other develop,
Yeah.
and it was cool. But yeah, it was like a lot of cool it was like surreal seeing local bands all in the same place
Yeah,
too. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like that's
Yeah.
what was really cool about it.
Well, that was
That
the
is
thing.
cool.
We went out there for the first one when Young Fiction played.
Yeah.
And you're right. Yeah, like I walked in and it was like, it's like walking into Cheers. Everybody's like, Hector, Hector, Hector. Because I knew everybody.
Yeah.
And it was so weird that I was across the entire country and I was
Yeah.
walking into a venue
Right,
and I
yeah.
knew everybody. I knew all the bands. But like just to have all those bands in one place that's so iconic was just
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah,
and
it was-
it was pretty surreal.
Yeah, definitely my favorite part. Like you're right, knowing everyone in like a place across the country in an iconic place, like it was
Yeah.
very cool.
Yeah, that's neat. We got to get Killbillies over there
Yeah.
and play some shows over
Kim,
on the West
we
Coast.
gotta get
before we
Killbillies
have a
over there,
look.
Kim. I'm just saying.
There's a new one coming
We
soon.
could do a folk festival over there.
Yeah, there you go. The good thing I was thinking when we were talking about across the country, I was thinking some of the plus sides of doing this pared down music, and also doing it with your boyfriend is travel is made a million times easier.
Yeah.
So touring for you guys is just as simple as getting in a car.
Yeah, it should happen more, honestly. Like, I don't know why it hasn't yet, because we drove all the way to Nebraska together.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he was picking up like a giant bass amp he had
Okay.
that we had to fit in the car. So we couldn't really bring too much like equipment to play shows on the way. But like, we love road trips, so we should definitely do
Yeah.
that.
When you guys are doing that though, like what's the setup like? You're playing acoustic guitar?
Yes.
Okay.
Usually, yeah. I'm on acoustic. For the first Viper Room I played, let me think. Yeah, the first Viper Room we played, he was on acoustic bass and I was playing my Jackson
Okay.
guitar.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then the second time around, he was on keyboard and I was on my nylon string guitar.
Yeah.
So it takes different forms. Sometimes he's on piano, sometimes bass, never
Yeah.
really guitar.
What's
For-
nice about that though is like you can, like he's saying how easy it is to just jump in a car and go. But for you
Yeah.
guys, like what's even nicer is you could literally take a couple of pedal boards, small pedal boards, and a guitar and a bass, and jump on a plane and go somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very
You
true.
know, whenever we travel, it's like we have to get in a car, or I have to rent a bass because I have the ginormous upright bass. You know?
Yeah,
so
totally.
that really is what kills us.
The upright bass is a blessing and a curse because it's one of the reasons why people like the band so much, because they're so iconic and cool looking. But it's
the
also
bass, it's me.
like having another member,
Yeah,
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
It's like Hector and his mate. you
And
know?
my friend, my best friend.
Yeah. Well, listen, I think now would be a good time to listen to you play a song. And then we're going to have a little bit of a talk about your guitar after that. But right now, let's jump into some music, shall we?
Sure.
Cool.
Looking over my shoulder, staying up all night and praying on if you're the one playing your cards right. And you can see the poetry in me, another fight, but bite the bullet, take the current, assume another life. But I can't help but know you can't hide what you don't show. You don't have to say, 'cause I've already lived the day. Making enemies with memories and dynasties. I should learn by now the case of strings cannot follow me, but still I let it bend and break almost everything. The love love you give to me, I steal before it sets me free. But I can't help but know you can't hide what you don't show. You don't have to say, 'cause I've already lived the day. I don't mind paying your fine. I don't mind being on the line. I don't mind paying your fine. I don't mind being on the line, on the line, on the line. I can't help but know you can't hide what you don't show. No, you don't have to say, 'cause I've already lived the day. I don't wanna know. No, I don't wanna know. You don't have to say, 'cause I've already lived the day.
Oasis Root Kava Bar is in Seagrape Square on Indiantown Rd, and it is a kava bar. If you don't know anything about kava, it's a Polynesian root that you grind up and you mix with water, and it has been in Polynesia for potentially thousands of years. It's an old thing that they used for kind of ceremonial and also sort of leisure purposes. It's meant to be something where, you know, that brings people together. You all take a shell of kava and chink them together and say bula and have it together like that. It's meant to be something to bring people together. It has a kind of an effect, which is, I guess, a kind of a slightly warming effect. It just kind of makes you feel nice. It's not particularly intoxicating. It's not like drinking alcohol. So the atmosphere in a kava bar is sort of like a cross between a regular bar and a coffee house. It's pretty chill in there. You get all sorts of different types of kava bars. Some of them are more like a club, you know, there's sort of like blacklight and EDM playing, and some of them are more like a cafe. This is one of the cafe type of ones. It's super chill in there. If you're looking for somewhere to, I don't know, maybe go and do some work on your laptop or go and have a chat with friends, it's perfect for that kind of thing. There's a foosball table in there if that's your jam, or baby foot as they call it in France. Yeah, Jim, the owner, is a really cool guy, and he has very kindly sponsored our podcast, so thank you very much for that, Jim. They also do a poker night in there, all sorts of things going on at Oasis Root. 561 Music is sponsored by Live Music Community. It's where we film the podcast that you're listening to right now, and it's also where I work. Gavin, Hector's son, was a student here for a long time, and in many ways he's the musician he is today because of the teachers at Live Music Community. We taught him not only about his instrument, but also about being in a band, and his band, Unemployed Youth, accomplished a lot of goals, mostly band etiquette, how to work together, and all of the nitty-gritty that goes into being in a band on a day-to-day basis. The student signs up for lessons, learns their instrument, joins a real band, and decides the direction it goes in. And we can take people from very young age, 6 or 7 years old, all the way up to 80. There's no age limit here. We run an adult program for people who want to be in a band as adults, but really the main focus is on the kids and getting them playing together and in bands. We are also a studio a live stream venue. We can record audio or video. The Killbillies live album, Warts and All, was recorded here. It was recorded during a live stream that we did during COVID. Justin had a great idea to record live streams during COVID. A ton of bands came in, and it was a real success. Outside of that, we can record albums, we can help you with your EPK, and we have full audio-visual capabilities here. LMC is in Palm Beach Gardens on the northwest corner of Military Trail and North Lake Boulevard. And if you go to livemusiccommunity.com, you have all the information you'll need right there.
All right, so we were just listening to an ad for Live Music Community. Do you have any advice for upcoming musicians?
I would say, I know it's probably been said a million times, but like just keep going and keep doing what you're doing, because it's like the only option you really have. Like if this is something you're passionate about, something you want to do, you just have to do it.
Yeah.
And also play live.
Yeah.
I think that's really important, because you don't want to be just some like TikTok girl that just blows up and then like what happens, like you don't know how to play live for people, and that's, I think, really important.
I think there's something that a lot of people miss, especially people who looking at it from the outside and aren't musicians, is that the reward of playing music is the playing of the music.
Yeah.
It's like that if you doing it is what it is. Everything else is like, incidental.
It's therapeutic.
For sure.
Absolutely. Like doing it because you're trying to enter some lottery to become a millionaire is a bad reason, It's just to do it,
We're not going to be millionaires.
You never know. You never know. Maybe not multi-millionaires.
No, I'm okay with a single million.
Yeah, 1 mil each. Yeah.
I'm not,
exactly 1 mil.
I'm not greedy. Just 1 mil's fine.
All right. So yeah, we heard you sing a song there, which was, I must say, beautiful. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Sure. It's called Power Lines, and I could be more specific as to what it's about, but like the kind of just abstract meaning of it all is like something kind of distorting something that's supposed to be pure. So that's why I named it Power Lines, because there's just like, I was just looking at power lines and it's like, oh, we just have a lot of power lines out here in nature. Yeah, so that's like what I'm talking about is like a power line, basically.
Okay, cool.
So that's...
Yeah, I got you. Just something that just wherever you look, it's there and is messing up the situation.
Yeah, something that's supposed to be perfect and pure and good.
Like pissing in fresh snow.
And now is that available online streaming?
Yes.
Okay.
Everywhere you can listen to music, you can find it there.
Isn't it cool how we all get to say that these days? There's very few things that are good about the decommodification of music. Mm-hmm. But the one good thing about it is that no matter what, you can get it out there.
It's accessible.
Yeah.
My stuff's only on MySpace, and I say that you think as a joke, but literally, like the stuff that I did back when I did do solo stuff is only on MySpace, and I've never taken it.
Is it still?
It is. You can go to the MySpace thing, and it's still there.
You couldn't even go to MySpace.
All my MySpace stuff got deleted. I had so much music on MySpace and only on MySpace. But when they were changing servers, like they lost about 1 billion songs, and
that's
mine
that's the only place I ever put it up. I never put it up on Facebook. I never put it on Instagram.
When was the last time you checked?
It's been a little bit, probably a year or two.
Oh, so okay, it's not that long ago.
No, a couple years ago.
Oh, I'm so jealous. Mine all got deleted by accident. That the great MySpace
I have
debacle.
copies of it, so it's not like it's gone forever if it gets deleted there. But I just think it's hilarious. People joke around when they come on the podcast and they're like, "My music's available on MySpace," and it's like mine actually is available on MySpace because I'm old.
Yeah, mine would have been, but MySpace, the gremlins at MySpace stole it. Yeah, I had this great song on there that was about my little brother, and I used to love that song, and I can't even really fully remember how it goes.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
So you have a special guitar that you like to play.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think we have a picture of it.
Oh, well.
Wow, look at that thing.
Yes. I love it. Yeah.
That's pretty.
It's cool. And what is it?
It's a Jackson Flying V guitar. I got it, I guess, like a year ago. I don't know.
It's really pretty.
Thank
Yeah, I
you.
love that wood grain.
It looks like the Star Trek badge, which is great.
I think I know what you're talking about. I'll have to Google that.
Yeah, I'll show you a picture. Anyway, keep telling them, and I'll show you a picture.
Yeah, I just wanted something kind of different that like sticks out because it can only be so interesting. Just another girl with an acoustic guitar. But this I thought was kind of funny. Oh, it does look like that.
Yeah, it's the exact same, isn't it?
So when you're playing that guitar, you're playing out as Kenny Moe. Are you playing that in an acoustic fashion? I guess where you're just not a lot of effects, very clean and everything.
Oh yeah, very clean. I mean, it sounds kind of awful, completely clean. So I use like
Sure, I mean minimal effects and stuff, but
little distortion. That's literally it.
But
So,
Distortion, okay.
yeah.
What kind of like do you have any particular favorite pedals or anything like that? What are you using? Just the amp or?
Yeah, I have a pig nose amp.
Oh, cool.
And it has some good, just natural distortion.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about pedals, nothing at all.
Gotcha.
I bought one tremolo pedal. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
And I didn't really like it, so I just gave it to my friend. But
that's funny.
Yeah.
I think you can really disappear up your own rear end with pedals, but what'll happen with me is I'll get more and more and more and more and more, and I'll be like, I'm done, and I'll go through a period of no pedals. Right now with one of the bands I play in, I don't use a single pedal, and for me that is
a rarity.
A rarity. Yeah. So I like both because going straight into an amp has a sound of its own. You do lose something when you go through all that stuff, I think.
Yeah, but it is something I would like to also know what I'm doing. It's just like kind of intimidating, kind of like recording.
Yeah.
I mean, with recording, I have genuinely no interest, but with pedals, like, I think there's a lot of space to
The
like.
good news
learn.
about pedals is they're almost like children's toys. There's just like knobs you can turn,
Yeah.
and they're bright colors. That's why one of the reasons I like them so much is like the whole thing where you get there's loads of really, really nice multi-effects now, but I just still want to get the individual boxes because they're relatively affordable, they look pretty, and they're fun, and they're easy to use. You don't have to have a math degree to figure it out.
The really good thing about pedals is that there is a million options out there. No matter what sound and whatever you think you want to get, there's probably a pedal for it.
Sure.
The bad thing about pedals is there's a million pedals out there, and good luck finding the one that's going to give you the sound you want.
Exactly.
That's cool though. Yeah, there's that Jackson straight into a pig nose amp. That's like a bold choice, especially for the kind of music you play, and a badass one.
Thank you.
It's cool.
So do you bring the amp to gigs and stuff, or are you using the back line sometimes? Or
Depends. I used to be more like committed to the pig nose because I'd play my Jackson, but I also have my telly that I like to use with the pig nose specifically.
Yeah.
I like
But
tellies.
yeah, since I've started more so using my nylon string, I just mic that up. So
Yeah.
I don't really, and the pig nose is so heavy. It's
I get
actually like crazy.
Yeah.
It's like not even that big. It's like maybe this big.
And there's that one downside of the pig nose where the only noise you can get out of it is
That's a good one.
Well played.
I would do the other pig sound, the squeal, but I think I got too much of a sore throat. I'm going to go. No, I can't do it.
That wasn't bad. So what else do you have going on? You have singles or anything coming out, or?
Yeah, so I'm actually recording something else this Sunday, I think.
Okay.
Oh, wow, cool.
Yeah, since I saw how fast it's possible, because every other song I've ever put out has taken forever.
Sure,
just like,
Sure, yeah.
So I'm like, oh, this is possible. I'm not wasting time anymore. Like, I need to just put stuff out.
This guy sounds like perfect for you. Just like in and out like a bank job, shows up, gets it done, and leaves.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, for sure. And especially want to put some more stuff out leading up to, I'm playing Bumblefest, which I'm really excited about.
Nice.
So that's like
Congrats.
kind of
Yeah, that's
the big thing coming up.
Yeah, wicked.
That's in September, is it?
September 6th and 7th.
Gotcha.
So 6th
Good
and 7th,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, early September.
It's a good festival. Lots of interesting new music on those bills.
Yeah.
And those guys have been a good friend to the podcast too.
That's cool.
Yeah, no doubt. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So in terms of like your future plans with music, do you have any sort of grand schemes, or is it just kind of like, let's see what happens?
Yeah, I mean, I'm open to anything, but like kind of more close future of what I would like to do is, just send my stuff to different record labels that I think would make sense for me, and hopefully cling on to a band I like and tour with them or something. Just like close future.
Do you have anyone who's, I was meant to ask this really earlier, but do you have anyone who you would say is your biggest influence?
Definitely Bright Eyes.
Yeah, okay.
We were kind of talking about that earlier.
Yeah, we were off mic, and because I was just about to ask you, do you listen to Bright Eyes? Do you like Bright Eyes? And turns out, yes, you do, which is awesome.
They're like my number one. Elliott Smith, obviously. And then like the Beatles and
hey, man.
Bob Dylan, Joni Mitchell, kind of like 60s, 70s.
Nice one. But Joni Mitchell has got so many great songs.
Yeah, I love her.
Amazing. She uses that like open D tuning, which is real cool too. Where you can just basically strum the guitar and it already sounds nice. You don't have to do anything, just go wrong. All right. Well, what have we got coming up? We've got, I can't remember, you got to tell me.
O'Shea's on Friday night.
Yeah, that's right.
Patty Mac's on Saturday.
That's correct.
And I think that's it.
I think so too. So we're, it's two of our sort of real mainstay
homes.
gigs. Yeah, exactly. Two of our mainstay
Homes
gigs.
away from home.
And if you're in West Palm, you should come see us at O'Shea's. I don't think there's very few places to see us where we play better than O'Shea's and Paddy Mac's. So come and check us out. And the other thing is on the 30th, Hector and I are releasing a single in the Nina's Yard Party. It's called Step by Step. I have made an animated video for it, which I'm very excited. It's going to come out 2 p.m. on Tuesday the 30th. Because I kept doing midnight, and then all of a sudden I was like, why am I doing midnight? Let's just do some time in the middle of the afternoon.
And I've seen the video, and to the stage you've got it now, and I have to say it is simultaneously the most ridiculous and the most awesome thing I've ever seen.
Thank you.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, man.
So we've got the Nina's Yard Party single coming up, a couple of gigs this weekend. Kenz, do you have any shows coming up?
Right now, just Bumblefest.
Gotcha.
I'm
going to have a think about that. I'm going to get you on
We'll
some
get you on
shows.
some shows between now and then.
Yeah. Absolutely. A buddy of mine, Keith, is just rapidly booking shows left, right, and centre too. So I'll put you on his radar. Well, he listens to this every week. He'll know.
Yeah. He'll know.
Yeah.
Somehow he'll know like before you actually release the podcast. I don't know. He's like psychic or something.
Yeah, totally.
He's got like superpowers.
Shout out, Keith. All right. So the one thing we didn't do this episode is mention the unmentionables. So I feel like we just shouldn't. We just shouldn't mention the R word or the H word.
We didn't mention them.
We didn't. There's going to be no
by
peace.
saying we didn't mention them, is that implying that we mentioned them?
I think only if you say the whole name.
Gotcha.
Oh, you're right, aren't you? Now we are talking about it.
Now we're talking about them, but we didn't name them, so it doesn't count.
Maybe it's half a ping each.
Yeah, one ping for both of them.
Yeah, exactly.
So you know who you are. You're going to share the ding.
Here it comes now. 3, 2, 1. Ding. All right. Well, listen. Thank you so much for coming. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much for
Thank
having
you.
me.
And I really love your music. And I'm not just saying that. I really do. And I wish you all the luck in the world.
Thank you.
And I guess that's it. We're out of here.
That's it.
Take a better